Hello and welcome to our second Women History Month story. This is a story based on a visual prompt, which has the prompt: your character is heading towards this dark tower. Tell the story of what happens here. So this story is titled Light of Twilight, and again it is the second story dedicated to women for Women's History Month. Marriage, an undesirable thing, but something that must be considered for the daughter of the king. He's a lovely man, really he is, her father tried his best to convince. She rolled her eyes as she watched the road pass, one bump then two as the wheels hit the grass. And what, might I ask, is the meaning of this? My daughter must meet with her introvert prince, the king did declare, as the carriage ground to a halt. The princess clapped her hands as a sign of revolt. With narrowed eyes, her father stepped out. She took in the scene, the middle of nowhere, no light of hope, only the dark touch of doubt. Right, the problem is fixed. Come here, my darling, return here and sit. The princess did as she was told, but she refused to look happy, and took pride in her exaggerated sulk. Oh, do hush your tone, he's a lovely man. Your wedding will be beautiful, and your kids will too. Who knows, perhaps true love will ring for you, the princess retched, trying not to puke. They arrived at the gate and were ushered on in. The king might be scared and sighed, but he wore outward grin. The princess stood before her future tomb. Its spire touched the heavens, but it was bound to the gloom. The door opened all by itself, and daughter looked at the king and said, "Nah, mate, I'm out." The king refused to laugh as his patience grew thin. The butler arrived and welcomed them in. "I hope your journey was safe," a lady did ask. The father stood still, completely aghast. "But you're a woman," he dared to ask. "Well observed, my good sire. I'm Princess d'Arc." She took his daughter's hand and planted a kiss. She blushed as she giggled. "I could get used to this." And that was the story of the princesses of night, both happily married in the light of twilight. When the king died, they took over as queens. No children they had, but black cats aplenty, and the years that they ruled were 120.